So I think we can all agree that the Gacha community is quote unquote dying, or at least in somewhat going downhill. But what exactly is causing that? First, we need to understand who the majority of the Gacha community is. And in reality, that is a bunch of kids. If I were to ask you to name 10 Gacha creators over the age of 18, I seriously doubt you would actually have that ability. Now, the fact that children make up the majority of the community isn't weird, nor is it inherently destructive. The only issue is the childish actions that occur from the children making up the majority of the community. One of these childish actions are the children using the fact that they are children as a means to excuse being straight up rude and immature. If someone says that what you're doing maybe you shouldn't be doing, or it's not okay, maybe you should reconsider what you're doing and maybe not do it, yeah? Problem is, people start calling this hate. It's not, it's a suggestion of how to improve, how to become more mature, which is a part of growing up. Growing up is becoming more mature, and I hate to break it to you, but each day you're not getting younger. Now, another problem that's arising is people seeing a comment, thinking it's a hate comment, and then calling it out, roasting it on their community post. If you see a hate comment, delete it and move on with your day. That's it. Don't go out and say to your entire fan base, which is going to be biased to your side, that this person's hating on me. Oh, they're so rude, and roast it, and just start roasting them. That's immature. That's not okay. Okay? And then anyone who defends that person has a right to defend them, because what you're doing isn't okay. You have to understand that. Now, another childish thing that happens in the community is copying. Now, as long as this isn't done word for word and credit is given where due, I don't personally see a giant problem with it. However, some people do, and I understand that, okay? I'm not gonna argue with you about whether it's okay or not to copy. Just keep in mind, before going after people that make inspired videos, those videos are probably just gonna give the original video more views. They start trends, which then helps everyone out in the community, okay? And that's why all the Not My Alpha series and Marked by the Alpha and other stuff like that gets so many views. It's a trend, okay? People are getting inspired, being, oh, I want to do my rendition of that, and then making their rendition of it, okay? There's nothing wrong with that in my mind, so don't attack people for that, okay? Thanks. Okay, so that brings us to my next point, okay? So many of the larger creators are essentially bashing many of the things that built the community and gave them their fame, i.e. the trends. Many complain about certain videos not getting as many views or doing as well when a 5-minute long alpha or romance video is getting thousands of views more. Saying things like this, in my mind, is just immature. Sure, it's annoying, but you have to understand why it's happening. Again, it's the trends. Many of the people in the community are looking to watch an alpha or romance story because it's what interests them. You aren't expected to make a romance video if it doesn't interest you. But the people looking for a romance Videos shouldn't be expected to watch your horror movie just because you're the one who made it. Alright, next point, r/gacha life cringe. I think that if you're in the community, you have a clue about this, and if you're not, you have a clue about this. Okay, so just look at it in a fun way. It provides some entertainment, and it's only dissing the cringe part, so don't get your panties in a little twist. If something of yours ends up on there, take a moment to reflect rather than throwing a toddler fit, okay? That gives them more of a reason to hate us. We don't want that. Alright, so I know it can be offensive, but if you go there and you look and you're like, oh, yeah, that's kind of bad. Most of the stuff that makes its way on there has a good reason to be on there. So just keep that in mind before going. Okay, thanks. Okay, so the next point is more serious than whether or not you should get offended over something, okay? So this community faces a lot of mental health related issues, an example being depression. So this is just a real quick good human warning. Don't claim to have a mental health disorder without actually being diagnosed by a professional. That one website 2 pages back in Google that you saw an ad saying, let me test you, see if you have the depression. No, don't trust that. Chances are it's not going to be completely accurate, okay? So make sure you do your research before beginning a story about someone with a mental health disorder, and make sure you have quality research, okay? Like, treat this as a school project. So if you wouldn't be able to search it up doing a school project, if you're not allowed to use that website, don't use it for this, because no matter what, misinformation is going to be harmful. You might be trying to advocate, but misinformation is harmful. So understand what goes into everything and how it affects people, rather than just saying, well, depression equals sad equals suicide and cutting. It doesn't. Some people are affected differently and just seem sad. Some people can take meds that help them. Sometimes the meds make them feel numb and they can't be happy either. Understand what goes into it, okay? And please, for the love of God, do not fake a mental health disorder or suicide. Even me, a tested, tried and true chaotic evil, has a problem with that, okay? So I've had friends that have attempted suicide. I have a friend who got addicted to cutting and is now using tape so that she doesn't accidentally kill herself, okay? So don't just pretend to commit suicide because you had that one hater comment on your video. No, absolutely not. Do not do that, okay? And just so you know, that gives the community a bad rep. People know the community like, oh, it's those fake depressed gacha kids. That's a bad rep, okay? Thanks. And on the point of bad reps, if you haven't noticed, the gacha community has a terrible rep, okay? Most of the previous things that I've mentioned give the community a bad rep or piss off some of the members enough, okay? But just what exactly does the bad rep do, okay? So it brings hate. And I know we all complain about hate. No one likes hate. So at some point, just because the community as a whole gets hate, some creators are going to take it personally, okay? And at some point, the creator is going to reach their tipping point, and they're going to disconnect. They're going to turn off their comments, their likes, their dislikes. They're going to turn off all the things that tether them to the community. And eventually they might just end up quitting because they can't deal with the hate comments and the hate anymore. Now, there's not so much we can do about this problem, because I'm pretty sure that it's not people in the actual community that are hating on the community and its members. But just try not to feed the fire, because that's going to bring more hate, okay? Just do your best to make things that you would feel proud of if your parents saw it, because most likely that's not going to bring hate to the community, okay? And that's what we want, okay? Okay, so we're going to come back to the issue of the community being a bunch of kids. So the thing is kids grow up, right? That's just a part of life. You're born. Each year you get older. Each year your interests change. Some things are gonna stick with you. A lot of things aren't. Your little brother might be really into soccer right now. Your little brother's probably not going to end up being a professional soccer player. Hate to break it to you. But doesn't mean he's not going to still enjoy soccer. It just means that he's not going to always want to be playing soccer. Okay? And so the thing is people, the creators aren't always gonna be wanting to make a gacha video every week. Their interests are gonna change, because you know what, we're a bunch of kids, our interests change. I do different things each month. I have a new art style each month, because you know what, my interests change. I didn't start doing realistic portraits like this for the longest time. This happened like a month ago. My interests changed. Eventually, the creators of the community's interests are going to change. I seriously doubt anyone in this community is planning on making gacha videos for the rest of their life. And you know, that's fine, because at that point, you're probably not going to be watching them either. Now, maybe we're going to go on a rabbit hole and fall down and be like, oh my god, and reminisce on everything. But we're not planning on I don't think I'm planning on doing this for the rest of my life. Are you? No. You know why? We have ideas of like growing up. We're not going to do this for the rest of our life. And that's a-okay. Alright? We shouldn't be expected to. And don't expect your creators to, because they need to grow up. They're gonna grow up. Okay, parting words. Remember, no one owes anyone anything. So, no forcing people to make videos. No forcing people to watch your videos. No forcing people to show their face, talk with their voice, and especially no forcible shipping. If someone exists IRL and they're your favorite creator's boyfriend or girlfriend equivalent in their videos, please don't try to force that person into a relationship with your favorite creator. That's creepy. Also, just try to do your best and stop trying to get others to fix the community. We are a community and everyone needs to do their part. Just focus on yours, because complaining about it isn't gonna do much. Alright, little child, I hope I've smacked a bit of sense into you. Don't call CPS. Bye.